Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of you. Jolly Scholar Triple Eight here. Uh, yes, why am I on Blue Sky? I'm not exactly a progressive liberal. But then again, most people like me used to be liberals. Music, the arts, we were natural liberals, right? PhD in the humanities. So what happened? Well, it's a long story, um, which hopefully will unfold here. But the main thing is I'm here is because why do I want to keep talking to people I already agree with, right? And I would ask you the question, why do you want to keep talking to only people you agree with? So the whole idea is to communicate with people who probably, like myself, are liberals thinking about, well, what is happening to this so-called liberal movement, right? They look more and more like fascism. And where's there to go? Well, really, things are changing now quite rapidly. Remember, Elon Musk used to be a darling of the liberals, right? Tesla. Trump used to be a New York City darling of the liberals. Many of us, RFK, we're all liberals. So what happened? Well, can we discuss that right now? But I would like to just bring up 2 points. One of them is this sudden fear of a techno-fascism. People, don't be disingenuous. Where have you been for the last 10 years? Because everybody that wasn't aligned with the globalist, what we call fascist narrative, has been under attack by technology for the last 10 years. Every single one of us has felt it. You're worried about techno-fascism now because of Elon. We know why. Because of Elon. Really? Really? You sat on the sidelines while the COVID hoax was perpetuated, the lockdowns were perpetuated, lockdowns for children that Sweden proved was completely unnecessary. The masks, the whole thing. You fell for the idea that Fauci was some kind of a saint, and now that he's been revealed that possibly he's a criminal, you don't even talk about it. You have gone down that road when X and Twitter were deliberately banning anybody who dared talk about the origins of COVID, who dared talk about the fact that vaccine is not really a vaccine. You guys said nothing. You didn't complain. You sat on the sidelines. Many of you cheered it on. This stuff has been going on for 10 years now. This wedding between government, the sneaky back end, calling it an NGO, and the technological platforms, and the big tech companies, and big pharma. This unified attempt to shove down the throats global fascism with the WEF. Do you guys even study the World Economic Forum and really understand what's going on there? Have you read that Rat Harari's Homo Deus? Just the last 2 chapters. The first part is so stupid. It's sophomoric. But the second 2 chapters, the last 2 chapters are pretty demonic. Have you even read that? Because that's where we're going if you're worried about technology. Rothblatt with her transhumanism, but really with a really ugly, weird twist. I mean, she says some things that are interesting, maybe even valuable. But have you read her? If you're worried about techno-fascism, you should have been worried about that for the last 10 years. Elon Musk was one of them. Well, he never one of them in that way, but he's the great technocrat oligarch of the time. And he has turned against the global fascist oligarchical establishment. I know you don't want to believe that. Well, you should at least study it. But again, why are you now worried about techno oligarchical fascism just because of Elon Musk, when in fact you have been standing on the sidelines, encouraging it, cheering it along for the last 10 years? As long as they seem to be doing this to the other people, as long as the fascists were attacking people that you, in other words, as long as they were siding with what you thought was your interests, ideological interests, you didn't mind at all. You sat there and you said nothing. So number two, let's talk about Bitcoin. Have you studied? Now, I've done some, in the past few years ago, Uber driving. I needed to do some Uber driving for a lot of reasons. I asked a lot of people, very young, older, also in my work, also still in the arts. And the fact is, most of you know nothing about the promise of blockchain technology. But you're supposed to be the educated, right? Aren't you people the educated ones, the liberals? How come you know almost nothing about the promise of blockchain technology and the scam that is fiat currency, the scam that is the Federal Reserve, which is not federal, and how blockchain and Bitcoin, for the first time in humanity, are creating a decentralized economic system that could be a hugely liberating force for all humanity? Okay, you may say that's a panacea, whatever, but are you aware? Are you aware of the argument for it? Are you even aware of how it works? Most of you are not. But I thought you were the educated. How come you don't know this? How about the dangers of a central bank digital currency, the CBDC? Most of you don't know that either. This is the potentially most enslaving economic system ever devised in human history. So let's get to the dumb guy, right? Trump, the big dummy, the big guy that you guys keep saying is so stupid. Compared to Biden and Kamala, cackles. Are you kidding me? Okay. He showed up at the 2024 Bitcoin convention. Where was Cackles? Well, where could she be? She doesn't understand this stuff. The woman's not smart enough. Where was Biden? He was comatose. You know that. He's practically a mummy. So, but Trump went. So you say, oh, the dumb guy just did that. Really? He identified every intelligent point that had to be identified. Number one, the promise that Bitcoin is a value. He understood it. It's a value. It really is. Now, many of you may not. But Bitcoin and blockchain technology as being a potentially liberating force for all humanity and a store of value, that a counterpart to the absolute hoax, the Ponzi scheme that is the fiat currency and the Federal Reserve. So Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, at least an element within the strategic reserve. Beautiful. Number two, Gary Gensler, get him fired. That rat has been waging legal warfare, lawfare against all of Bitcoin, all of cryptocurrency for the last, I don't know how many years. Never clarifying the law, but simply sucking money out of them. He would sue them and suck money out of them, sue them and suck money out of them. So he promised to fire the guy. Well, the guy's now out. Number three. I can go. Number three. The fact that he needed to clarify the laws, which is exactly what Gensler was supposed to have been doing, and did not do. So clarify the laws so that everybody understands what the law is, and therefore they don't have to leave the United States. So help make America one of the capitals for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Bitcoin is a strategic reserve to show that he understands the promise of blockchain technology and Bitcoin, that he understood it. Now, you could say, oh, he had to surround himself with smart people to teach him that. Okay, fine. We all learned on our own way. Took me a couple of years. I studied it hard, and it's fabulous. And you can watch my videos on the subject, as a matter of fact. So Bitcoin is a strategic reserve. Get rid of that rat Gensler, clarify the laws, and then make a promise to never allow a central bank digital currency to manifest itself here in the United States. People, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. This is what we need. And you say he's stupid. He was smart enough to understand everything that was at stake. What's at stake in this? That's the brilliant part of his speech, that speech that he gave. He understood what was at stake. The central bank digital currency is a danger to all mankind, and we don't want it here in the United States. Bitcoin has a promise to be liberating, blockchain and Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency in general, to be financially liberating for the people. And of course, get rid of the people standing against it. So who on your side was against it? Oh, Pocahontas. Have you looked into Pocahontas? She works for the banks. Let me tell you, people, the banks don't want any competition when it comes to money laundering and stealing from the public. That's why they put the founder of Silk Road, they put him in jail for the rest of his life, plus some 40 years. Nobody gets that. Nobody gets that. That's insane. You could kill 5 people and not get that. Why did they do it? The banks are telling you, whatever you do, people, don't you dare fuck with the banks. Well, Trump just fucked with the banks, and he pardoned that guy. Are the banks going to retaliate against all this? We don't know, because I don't trust BlackRock. I really don't. That is a nefarious organization. The fact that they're moved into Bitcoin so aggressively, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But maybe the banks have finally realized that their day has come, or maybe they'll make their peace with the blockchain and Bitcoin technologies. I don't know. But neither do you. And the fact that you are supposed to be the intelligentsia, the college educated of our society, and the guy you thought was so stupid went there to the Bitcoin convention and said everything that needed to be said. He addressed every critical issue. Should show you that you're not anywhere near as smart as you think you are. Maybe you need to listen to people like me, people who are not within your echo chamber.